Brian Feinerman, and this is your Fast Money Trade School. Feel like you're getting lost at sea in the stock market? One tip to find your way: follow the whales, Wall Street's most powerful investors. These heavy hitters have to disclose their biggest holdings. Just check out a 13F form filed quarterly to see what Buffett or Icahn have been buying. But before you dive in head first, remember, even whales can get beached. Class dismissed.
I'm a whale watcher. I'm a whale watcher. I'm a whale watcher. Are you? This market have you down? Well, then let's do some Wall Street whale watching. Hello, Brian Mckeon, partner at the JMB FLP. Today we'll be looking at number 40 in my list of the 100 top traders. Now today we'll be looking at vanamonde, the Motley Fool caps. Now you can see that this strategy has done so well for me. It's put me in the top 3% in the most recent CNBC tournaments with returns of over 53%. And what we merely do is follow the holdings of the richest, most successful investors out there, and we find their holdings through these free websites. Then get an average analyst ranking through these free sites. Now again, I'd like to remind you that all analyst recommendations are as of June 11, 2010. Now looking at the holdings of vanamonde, you can see that IBM comes in as a strong buy. You also have Chevron, Hewlett-Packard, McDonald's, Intel, J&J, JP Morgan Chase, Kraft, Coca-Cola, 3M, Merck, Microsoft, Procter & Gamble, and Travelers all come in as moderate buys. You can also see the rest of his holdings that come in as a hold at this time. Now for a little note, this comes from the site, the Motley Fool caps, and due to the number of picks from vanamonde, we are only looking at the ones that are rated 5 stars on the Motley Fool caps. If you'd like to see his entire portfolio, you can go over to Motley Fool caps and find him through there. Now looking at the chart for IBM, you can see that we're currently above all of its moving averages. The 20-day is slightly below the 40 and 50 and the 100-day moving average, and indicating that it's heading higher. Stochastics is in the mid of the range and heading higher. So we look for this one on a bit of good support and looks to be heading higher in the near term. As for Chevron, this one down with most of the oil sector and is currently underneath all of its moving averages. So that offers some tough upside resistance for it. Stochastics came off the oversold and is heading higher, but you have quite a bit of upside resistance with its shorter term moving averages, and even if it does go higher, it would have a tough time getting above its 100-day or 200-day and all the other averages here as well. So I'd look for this one range bound for now. As for Hewlett-Packard, much the same thing. You can see it's down and it's had a bit of a double bottom and is coming up and is now hitting its 300-day and its 20-day moving averages. So this one looks to be having a bit of trouble breaking out above this level. So I'd look for this one to go sideways for now. As for McDonald's, now this one's in a strong trend. It's all the moving averages are indicating that they'd like to move higher, and you can see some good positive momentum for this one. Stochastics is kind of in the mid of the range and heading higher, so this one looks good for now. As for Intel, this one's come down with the general market, and the stock, it came up to its 200-day and has had a bit of a fallback on that. So, and with Stochastics near in the mid of the range and heading higher, I'd look for it to just be stuck in a range right now. As for Johnson & Johnson, this one has quite a sell-off, but is starting to form a bit of a base here. Stochastics is in the oversold level and indicating a possible tick higher. I'd look for this one to trade sideways to higher with its upper limit of the upper moving averages here of the 18 and 20-day moving averages. As for JP Morgan Chase, Stochastics is indicating an uptick for this one, so I'd look for this one to possibly rally up to its 18 and 20-day moving averages in the near term. As for Kraft, this one's in a bit of a strong trend, but is starting to decide what it wants to do with these moving averages. So I'd look for this one to have some upside resistance here and look to just merely consolidate sideways for now. And Stochastics is indicating that it wants to move higher, so I'd look for it just to move sideways to higher for now. As for Coca-Cola, this one's having quite a tough time and is underneath all of its moving averages. So So I'd look for this one having a lot of upside resistance. Even though stochastics is indicating an up move, I don't see much of an up move because it's underneath all of its averages, and that gives some upside resistance to it. As for 3M, it too is having trouble getting over its 200, and seeing that the 18 and 20 day are offering some more resistance at that level. Stochastics wants to push it higher, so you might be able to break out, but it's kind of tough with all these averages giving it upside resistance. As for Merck, you can see that this one is starting to rally and is starting to break through some of its averages. But this run looks like it might be done because stochastics is getting into the overbought level. But you may be able to embed the stochastics and give you a sizable rally there. But in the meantime, just look for this one to head sideways for now. Microsoft has had quite a fall and had a bit of a double bottom, is looking to rally. Stochastics is in the oversold level and looking to rally. So I'd look for this one to possibly rally up to its 18 and 20 day moving averages. Procter & Gamble, it's tough to get a good chart on this one because of the crash lows. So it may just be easier just to avoid looking at this one altogether. Okay, for travelers, you can see that this one had a bit of a double bottom and is, good support with its 300 day, and it also broke above its 200 day and has offered some good support. It's broken above some of its shorter term moving averages, so this one looks like it wants to rally. Only thing holding it back right now is its 100 day. Stochastics is indicating that this one would like to move higher as well. So in review, the strong buys are IBM, and the moderate buys are Chevron, Hewlett-Packard, McDonald's, Intel, Johnson & Johnson, JP Morgan, Kraft, Coca-Cola, 3M, Merck, Microsoft, Procter & Gamble, and Travelers. Again, I'd like to remind you that all analyst recommendations are as of June 11, 2010. And if you'd like a more up-to-date look at vanamonde's holdings, you can find them on the Motley Fool Caps, and then you can get an average analyst ranking through these free websites. Now again, I'd like to remind you that I am not a licensed investment advisor, and all the investments I am showing you today are what I'm doing for my friends and family's accounts. And I am not affiliated with any of the websites used to determine these rankings. And I currently own none of the stocks discussed today. So again, this is Brian Mckeon from the JMB FLP saying thank you and see you next time. I'm a whale watcher. Creator of the predatory lender. Now, if the previous was a little too boring for you, try and join the predatory lending team as they go on their intergalactic adventures trying to hunt down the next great investment opportunity for you.